We'll do the 51st Maimer in Maimori Maluket Cheli Gimel. This is the Maimer Bayom Hashmini Hikriv Nisanel Ben Suar Nisi Yisachar. And this is in Parshas Nosei Yudalit Sivan Hey Tovshin Lamed Beis. And later on, this came out in the Kuntrus Beis Nisan Tinosei for Beis Nisan, which is the Histalkus Hilula of the Rebbe Rashab, and it's the day that there is Evrer Chodesh Nisan Shnas Tinose. We'll learn the Maimer inside. So Bayom Hasheni, on the second day, this is from the Nishim, as they were bringing every day a korban, each Nasi. So on the second day, which was Beis Nisan, they started with the Rosh Chodesh Nisan on the second day. Hikriv Nisanel ben Tzur. It was offered by Nisanel ben Tzur, who was Nishii Yisshachar, the prince of Yisshachar. He was the leader of the tribe of Yisshachar. Hikriv es korbonei, and he brought his offering. Pirush Rashi. So it says here, seemingly a duplicate language. We're saying by Yom Hasheni Hikriv, that he offered, and then it says again Hikriv es korbonei. Rashi, Ma'u Hikriv beis pa'amim. Why is it two times say Hikriv? Should have said Bayom Hasheni Hikriv Nisanu ben Tzur Nisi Yisachar as korbonei, or it should say that Bayom Hasheni Nisanu ben Tzur Nisi Yisachar Hikriv is korbonei. Why is there two times Hikriv beis pa'amim? So Rashi brings down that Shabishul Shnei Dvorim Zocho Lahakriv Shnei Sheni Lishvotim. It was for two reasons that he merited to be bringing the second one of the tribe. Before him came Yehuda, but he was the second, and it was for two reasons that he got the privilege to be the second one. Achas, number one, Shahoyu Yoidim B'Torah, they knew Torah. Shenemar, because the Pasuk says, "Umibnei Yisachar Yoidei Bino Leitim," that from the tribe, the sons of Yisachar, they know understanding to the times, the melodes, the various different things necessary for Torah. So that's number one. Ba'achas, and another reason, Shehem Nosnu Eitzel L'Nisim L'Hinsnadiv Korbanos Alalu, because they are the ones that gave the Nesiim the advice to bring this korbanos. So because they gave the advice, that's the second privilege. That's why he got to do second. So the Rebbe says, in that case, the question is, so why didn't he get first? He said these privileges. So we need to understand the mitzat shnei taimim elu, that because of these two reasons, it would have been fit that he should be the first one of the tribes. Move on, and even more, it's not understood. These of the medrash we find in the medrash lo monemar boy hikriv. Why does it say by him Hikrib? So it says Medlefi Shazocha Ba'atzas Nisim. It says he offered. This is the lashon unique to Bayom Hasheni to Nitzanel ben Suar. So the Medrash says that because he merited, because he gave the advice to the leaders, Hello Lavakosuv Ki Iluhu Hikrib Tchila. So the pasuk counts on him. He already brought it, that he was the one that brought in the beginning, in the very beginning. So not only is he second because he suggested it, but the Medrash says that it says Hikri because he actually was makrivit for his advice. So in that case, so we need to understand even more the reasoning Al zeh shebepoil hikriv Yehuda tchila. So how come Yehuda is the one that brought first? The Yisachar hikriv bayom hasheni, and he only brought it on the second day. Gam tzarich lahavin. We also need to understand Mash kosuv Nesanel ben Tzuar Nishii Yisshachar. So by him, we first mention the name of the leader, Nesanel ben Tzuar, and then it says the leader of Yisshachar. By the other ones, it says the offering of the tribe, and their nasi was such and such. But over here, it says Nesanel ben Tzuar, and then it says that he was the leader of Yisshachar. Shemagdim es Shmoi. He introduces his name, Nesanel ben Tzuar, Lifnei Sha'omer Sha'oyanosi Yisshachar, before he says that he was the leader of Yisshachar. The L'chayre would seem Mikiv on the Zeh Sheikriv es Karbonoi Lifi Sha'oyanosi Yisshachar. The reason that he brought his korban wasn't because a personal, but it was because he was the leader, he was the prince of Yisshachar, the Nasi of Yisshachar. It should have said Nisi Yisshachar. So by Yom HaSheni brought Nisi Yisshachar, and Ba'achar Kach, and then later on, Nesanel ben Tzuar, the name of the leader of the Nasi. U'kamoshe kosu Gabi Shara Nisim Sheikrivu La'achrei Yom HaSheni. As it's written with regards to the other Nisim, the leaders that offered after Monday, after Shabbat Chila, Nemar Nosi Livnei Goymer. First it says the leader of the tribe, and then it says the name of the leader. But here it says Nesanel ben Tzuar before saying that he is the leader of the tribe. In other places, it says first Nosi Livnei, V'achkach Nemar Shmoi Shel HaNosi, and then it says the name of the Nasi. This is actually the same as we find by the Nasi that brought on the first day, which over there too, it mentions first the name of the Nasi before he mentions the name over there mentions the name of the Nasi before he mentions the name of which tribe they represented. It says also Nachshin ben Aminodov lemata Yehuda. It says Nachshin ben lemata Yehuda. Betchila Nachshin ben Aminodov. First it says Nachshin ben Aminodov, and then ve'achar kach, and then later on it says lemata Yehuda. So first the name of the Nasi, and then the tribe that represented the Mata Yehuda. Base. We can explain now based on what we find in the Medrash. Alaposik Nachshin ben Aminodov lemata Yehuda. Nachshin, the son of Aminodov lemata Yehuda. Lo manikron shmoi Nachshin. Why is he called? Why was his name called Nachshin? Al Shem sheyorat chilo lenachshol shebiyam. He went into the wave of in the water. In the beginning, when Kriyas Yamsuf, he went in the right Nachshol Shabiyam. So the Eibishter says, Chulu mi shekidesh shmi beyam, the one who sanctified my name at the sea when he jumped in and didn't stop, and then was the nest of Kriyas Yamsuf who Yakriv Tchilo, he should offer first. So we can say this that the Medrash specifies and asks the question Lama Nikro Shmoi Nachshin, why his name was called Nachshin. But it doesn't ask why were the other Nisim called what they were called. It only asks why was Nachshin called Nachshin. And the reason for that is Nachshin ben Aminodov lemata Yehuda, because the pasuk says Nachshin ben Aminodov to the tribe of Yehuda. So it doesn't say. It almost says just he is from the tribe of Yehuda, but it doesn't represent him as V'lei Nasi Yehuda, as the leader of Yehuda. Mashma, so from this language it appears the Zeh Shehu Hoyo HaMakrib Bayom HaRishon, this that he offered on the first day. It's not just because of the advantage of the tribe of Yehuda, they come first. It is also on his own greatness, his own advantage. And that's why the Pasuk doesn't say Nasi Lamate, but it was Nachshon ben Aminadab. Since the name of the person hints to what the idea of that person and what his greatness is, that's why the Medrash emphasizes and asks, why is his name Nachshon? What's his greatness? And he explains the malos shall nachshin hamerumezes b'shemohi. So they can say, and the Medrash explains that what was Nachshin's greatness, which is hinted in the name of Nachshin, Kiddush as Shmi Shalakodesh Baruch Hu, is because he sanctified my name, the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, by jumping into the Nachshil of the Yam. That's why he is the one that brought in the beginning. Can say in a similar way that also when we talk about Yisachar with Nesanel ben Tzuar, it's also his in name itself. Yeah, it's not like by Yehuda where it doesn't say Nasi, it just says Lamate. By Nesanel ben Tzuar, it does say Nisi Yisachar, so it has to do with the mile of the tribe as well. But it's also has to do with his name, with the name of Nesanel ben Tzuar. Nesanel ben Tzuar Nisi Yisachar. Nesanel ben Tzuar, the leader of Yisachar, Shakos of Magdim Nesanel ben Tzuar. Lifnei Nisi Yisachar. The Torah writes first, before saying the tribe, as the Rebbe pointed out before, and he says the name of the Nasi, son of Lifnei Nisi Yisachar, before saying that he was the Yisachar who lerames, to hint to us the Akriv Bayom Hasheni. The fact that he is the one that offered on the second day immediately after the tribe of Yehuda, the Yisayram is that not only did he do second, as we mentioned before, but the Rebbe pointed out it says even if he's brought before Yehuda, it's because of his advantage, his greatness, which is hinted in his name. So Bagam, even though it's not just Lamate, but it's Nosi by Nesanel ben Tzuar. Bagam shenemer boy is Nisi Yisachar. Even though by Yisachar it says Nesanel ben Tzuar, and it says Nisi Yisachar. The loikin nachshin shenemer boy Lamate Yehuda. Over there by Nachshon, unlike by Nachshon where it says Lamati Yehuda, not Nisi Yehuda. This is evidence. The fact that he got to bring the offering on the second day. And also the fact that the pasuk counts it as if he offered in the beginning. That is because of the greatness of the tribe of Yisachar. But yet, still his name, Nesanel ben Tzuar, was said before it says Nisi Yisachar. Because this advantage of the tribe of Yisachar, that because of that advantage that he brought on the second day, as if he would have brought it first, that advantage is hinted in the name of Nesanel ben Tzuar. Yes, it was Yisachar, but it's represented by Nesanel ben Tzuar, and that's why that comes before saying that he's the Nasi of the Shevet Yisachar. So it's explained in the Maimorim. The connection of Nachshon and Nesanel to Yehuda and Yisachar is Ki Yehuda inyan habitl. Yehuda is the idea of self-effacement, of bitl. So Lachein Nikra B'Shem Yehuda. That's why he was called on the name of Yehuda. Al Shem Hapam Oidas Hashem. He says that she said that this time I will praise and thank Hashem, meaning that is the level of bittul, that it's not her, it's thanks to Hashem. Because of the idea of bittul, of self-subjugation, a bittul, self-negation, therefore the Nasi of Shevet Yehuda, he was Nachshon Sheyorat Chilo, the Nachshon Shebiyam. He descended first into the wave of the sea. Al yin inyan hamesidas nefesh bitl. That is the idea of self-sacrifice, which is the level of bitl. The Yisachar hu inyan haTorah kinal, and Yisachar is the idea of Torah. As we said before, the Medrash, that one of the reasons why he came first is because Yoidei Bina Leitim Dimnei Yisachar are Torah v'lochein Anosi the Yisachar Hoyo. That's why the little prince, the leader of Yisachar, was Nisanel Oisyos Nosan Kael, given by Hashem. Ki HaTorah Hi Matona, for the Torah is a gift. The Inyan ben Tzuar, Nisanel ben Tzuar, Tzuar Miloshein Mitzah. Tzuar comes from the Loshen small. Because what is the vessel, the vehicle to receive Torah of a Nisanel is Ben Tzuar, is to the level of bittul. This is why Yehuda brought before Yisachar ki inyan habitl, because the idea of bitl ulifnei ulamailo me'esa kaTorah comes before and is higher than the occupation of Torah. The shoyresh haTorah hu bechachma. The root of Torah is chachma, because we say the raisa mechachma nafkes. Torah comes from chachma. By yidei habitl, but through the level of subjugation, who hamshachas hakeser shalamayla ma'achachma. That's the way we draw down keser, which is higher than chachma. So mitzorich lahavin. So we need to understand now. According to the way it's explained in the Maimorim, that Yehuda is in the level of Keser and Yisachar is in Chochma. Lama hela hakosav al Yisrael al Yisachar ki'ilu ikrit tchila. Why is the Torah count Yisachar as if he brought it first? Tchila gam Yehuda, even before Yehuda. L'cheira, the Maila of Yehuda is Keser, which is Bittel, and that's higher. So why would it be as if Hikriv that Yisachar brought even before the level of Yehuda, which is the level of Bittel? Gimel. In the Yedua, it's known the Yehuda, Inyan HaMaisa. Yehuda is the idea of action. As written in the Maimorim that explain that Yehuda came to Yosef. So based on that explanation, Yisachar v'Yehuda who Inyan Talmud Maisa. So Yisachar and Yehuda is the idea of study and action. It's explained elsewhere that even though they had counted, the rabbis counted, and the majority decided that learning is greater, that's greater Mikol Mokoim, then Maisa Mikol Mokoim. Mekiv on Shatam al Zeh Talmud Gadol. But yet, what is the reason why is greater Talmud? Talmud maybe de Maisa. The reason for the greatness of the Talmud is because it brings to action. So from this itself, it's evidence that the action is the main, and that the only reason why Torah is great because it leads you to action. So it means that action is great, is the main. Because the root of action is higher rooted than the root of study. That's why in the future to come, it will be, the action will be greater. So based on this, we can say the fact that the Torah counts as if he brought it first. Also before Yehuda, Talmud Godel, this is similar to the idea that Talmud is greater. So there is the idea of Talmud Godel, meaning Yisachar is greater. That's Nimnu v'Gomru. So in that case, Yisachar is like he brought Lachatchila. But v'zeh shebepoil hikriv Yehuda tchila, the fact that in actuality it was Yehuda that brought first, because the action is what's the most important. So in Poil, Yehuda brings, because Maisa Yehuda is greater, because that's the goal. But in level of greatness, Talmud is Gadol. Lohoisiv the Hakomas HaMishkan. So we're talking about raising the Mishkan, dedication of the Mishkan, and giving of the Torah, which Yisachar is learning Torah, are connected one to another. Understood from the expounding of our Chachamenu, Zikr and Racha, the Pasik, Basi Legani. So over there, I came to the garden. So over there we say, Sham Shochas v'Yiridas Iker Shchina Lamata Ba'ora. When did it extend and descend the main Shechina below into the ground, into the earth? That is by the Matan Torah. That's when Basi Legani. The Iker HaHamshocha Hoyo Kishuhukam HaMishkan. But the descent of the Shechina began at Matan Torah. But when did the main Hamshocha come down? When the Mishkan was erected. So here we can say, according to this, the connection between Torah and the Mishkan, the Kamosh Matan Torah Hoyo al Yidei Shig Dimonasal Nishma. Just as the giving of the Torah was by introducing Nas before Nishma Hagdom Hadgoshos Maila Hamaisa Ala Limud Va'avona, emphasizing the advantage of action over learning and understanding. Nishma Miloshin Havona, Nishma to hear, meaning understanding. So we're saying we will do, which is higher than learning and understanding. Ubaoifen, in a way, Nishma, that they said first we will do before we will listen. The Achrei Matan Torah, that even the after Matan Torah Hagam Shemaisa Hu Ha'ikar. Even though we're saying that Maisa is the main, and Batam Shetalmud Godel Hu Mishmei Mipnei Shemebel De Maisa, and why is greater learning? Because it brings to action. Mikol Mokoim Talmud Gadol, we still say that the Talmud is greater than Limud Kodim L'Maisa, and learning comes before action. You have to learn before you do. So, but still, we need Nasa v'Nishma. But b'chdei shetia hamshocha dematan Torah v'yitzorich liyes ha'achona da'agdomas na'is l'Nishma. We still, in order to bring down the Torah, There needs to be the preparation of Nasa before Nishma. Similar was by the Hamshocha that took place when they stood up the Mishkan. We needed the Nasa before the Nishma. When they dedicated the Mishkan, Hikriv Yehuda Maisa, he was marked with Yisachar, which was the Inyan of Talmud.